All right, so what's good, everybody? What's going on? What's going on
Man, we
Friday
gotta
night?
we gotta start off. We gotta give some RIPS. Got to say RIP to George Foreman. When
Oh
I
yeah,
heard
oh yeah.
about that, when
Yeah.
that was I was like, oh man,
He
Hmm.
gone to
Who was
the
he?
upper room.
Yeah.
to the upper room.
How old was
Upper
he?
room.
You know,
He was
74,
Before.
76,
yeah.
some shit like that.
76, something like that.
Mm.
I think he had some kind of illness too, though, because they said he
Did
died
y'all see
surrounded
the
by his
movie? The
family.
George Foreman movie?
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
No, I didn't see that.
It was pretty good.
Okay, I
It
gotta
yeah, it
came
check.
out
was
a couple
alright.
years ago.
It was alright.
So
The bar is set way too high with Ali.
Yeah.
now I was saying like you can't hold everything to Ali standards. That's too high.
Yep, nope, nope,
They
nope.
obviously put more money into that movie
A
than they
lot,
did
definitely.
Oh yeah,
for
because
Foreman.
you had Will,
All star
Yeah,
cast, yes.
yeah,
I
that
mean
was
Yeah.
Will gave he Will did his thing on that movie.
He
Did.
did.
Yeah,
He
he
did.
He's a
yeah,
did.
he
great
did.
actor. You
Hmm.
Yeah,
can't take that away from him. Now, I
no.
Listen,
don't
I
know
was
about his
I was saying a
character.
couple days ago, he got a new album coming out, dropping. I think it
Oh
dropped
my
today.
God,
Oh
yo,
yeah.
listen. I sometimes,
Well,
sometimes people just need to set the fuck down.
You think
Yeah.
Will need to
Why?
chill?
Yeah,
Oh my
ain't
God.
nobody trying to. And then he going to try to drop names like he called Kendrick and Jay Z to get an eye. Man, if you don't sit your ass down and go back and
No,
make
bruh.
some movies,
you know what? It was cool back in the
it was
DJ Jazzy
never
Jeff.
cool. It was only one
Mm-mm.
cool song, and that was that intro
Summertime.
to well, summertime. There you
Damn,
go.
y'all curving Will all the way since summertime.
Yes.
Summertime
That was like
Come on
8 years
now.
and
ago.
the
Basically,
Come
yeah.
on.
intro
Come
and the
on now.
intro to
Y'all
the
was getting
movie.
jiggy with it.
I
Come
mean,
No,
on now. Come
no.
on. Don't
DJ Jazzy Jeff
I
was it
was.
was
I
cute
like
back
that
in
song.
those days for kid rap.
But
Now
it wasn't like
salute,
hip hop. It wasn't like
salute
No,
legit.
it
to
was.
him
That's what I'm
because he
saying.
made
It was
millions.
kitty. It was kitty rap, sort of. In those days, we were
Like
young,
bubblegum.
so you liked that. That sort of thing back in those
Like
days.
goofy
That was
rap.
a that was
Yeah,
a grown ass
exactly. It
man
was
that ain't had nothing to
entertaining.
do with his time and all that goddamn money.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then he
It
just
was
like, you know
cute.
what?
I mean,
I got time.
like,
Let me go and do
Y'all
some
didn't like Men
music.
in Black? Like,
No, the movie.
ah,
Yes.
you didn't
The
like that
song
song?
that song
Well,
was
that was okay.
garbage.
Yeah.
That
Okay,
was
see,
you
garbage.
know what? It was
come
okay
on.
because
Wait, hold on. My
it was
my
for the
connect my
movie.
connection became trash for a minute, so I didn't hear nothing
Oh,
y'all said. What we
sorry.
talking about now?
Oh,
Oh,
I just asked him about Men in
Recap
Black. The Men in
of
Black song.
all the Will Smith songs except Summertime and the intro to Fresh Prince is
That's
trash.
great.
y'all didn't like
they got
I think I could beat
1.5
Mike
hits.
Tyson. Remember he had
The
that
Huh?
song?
what?
He had that
Oh, I
song. I
forgot
think I could
about
beat
that.
Mike Tyson.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I remember that. Oh
Oh,
God, you
No.
dug
oh my
way deep.
nah.
That was way back.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, no,
Kind of
Will
left
Smith.
that one.
Hold up. Will Smith is spitting some fire these days, though. You hear
Look,
some of the new
Smith
I
songs?
ain't
know
spitting no fight. That is
If I ain't spitting
disrespectful to the
fire,
hip hop
like
community.
I like some of his lyrics now. I'm like, okay, Will,
Thank
That
you,
okay.
G.
is
You're not a
I
hater.
heard me.
See,
oh
I
no,
haven't
hit
heard
another one. The
that.
two of us. Just
with
the
his son.
two of
Okay,
us.
I give him
Yeah.
that one.
That
Yes,
was a cute little song.
that was
Only
cute.
because, it
That
was the
was cute.
father thing. So
wait,
If
did
we
y'all
talk
put men?
long enough, we might be able to scrounge up like 3 whole hits that Will Smith has made.
So y'all saying this whole album, he just need to not do it?
nope,
Not in 2025. No, no,
nope.
no, no.
Listen,
I
this
didn't
is
say that.
exactly. Gina's
I
not.
think
I
it's
haven't
okay
really
for him
heard.
She's
to
not
try
saying it, but I see you thinking it, Gina. I
no.
see you thinking it.
I mean, I haven't heard anything yet. I just saw something on the internet saying
I
that
would not
it's
dare give the universe my time.
it said something
I would
like
D.
I think
No.
the headline was something like Will Smith creating an album in 2025 indicates a career in free fall. I was like,
For
damn.
music, he can go and do old bullshit ass movie and be a hit. But music, he like Nick Cannon, like that. He's in that category. Trash. I'm
Oh
talking about
man.
with the top on it and thrown down a hill.
Oh
Trash.
my gosh.
Uh-uh.
Wow.
That's cold.
That's messed up. Yeah,
trash.
Dang.
Man, ooh, tough
Oh,
crowd,
wow.
man. Tough
Nah, listen,
crowd.
Will
That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Will is trying to have some therapy from all the stuff he getting gone through with this woman Jada. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't
Mhm.
care. Don't we ain't got nothing to do with that. Go sit in the room and do that shit. Like
No, man,
we
you
already
got
That could be a
had,
good
entertainment
topic right
when he
there.
smacked Chris.
huh?
So that's what as far as Will and Jada.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole evening right there.
Mm.
Well,
Woo.
I'm glad you said that because we gonna get into a little something about respect in relationship. We can get into that. So recently, no, before we get into that, I did see that some charges on the Diddy case. The judge threw out some charges on Diddy's
I
case.
don't care. Throw
So
away the key and throw his ass in a tub full of whatever that is he used. I don't care. That's what they get. You can have that much money and don't know what to
Boiling
do
and
with your
baby oil.
motherfucking time.
It's a
Shut
shame.
up.
Mm-hmm.
no, that is
What we
true.
doing?
Yeah.
The devil is idol playground is the
Yeah.
devil's idol. What is it? The idol
Idle
The
playground.
idle
mind.
mind is
Idol
a
is
devil's
devil's
There you
playground.
playground.
go.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's it. I don't know if he's gonna get off, but I don't think all this stuff they charge him with is
I
gonna
don't think
necessarily
so.
stick.
Yeah. I don't think
He's
it's good.
I don't think everything's gonna stick, but I don't think he's gonna get
Right.
off on everything.
But enough will stick to where he's just gone.
He's gonna
It
get
Yeah.
don't
off.
matter where it sticks or not. They done
Well, I've been
dogged him. They
watching.
done ran him
He's
through the
out.
dirt.
He's not making no comeback or anything. He's
Mm.
gonna be a pariah, like unfortunately, like Bill Cosby.
Now I
I mean,
heard that he did one smart thing because he don't have nothing in his name.
It's in his
Right.
Mhm.
mama and the kids' names, right?
Yeah. Mom's name for the most part. The
mm,
majority
Just
of
like a drug
Yeah.
dealer.
Ah,
right.
shit, that's
it.
how I. It's no different than mom should be a trust and hey, that was a smart move on his part. I guess he already predicted him getting caught
Oh yeah,
slipping and
because he
sliding
would have. They would have come and took
in
Well,
everything.
he
You
people
did
can't
some
you
booty
can't
shady
you
holes.
can't
stuff.
do dirt. You can't do
Yeah.
dirt and not expect some consequences. He knew that at some
But
point he was
it
gonna have to pay the
already
piper.
videotapes for everybody on it.
Mm,
That nigga got blackmail shit, boy.
I
Diddy like
mean,
I ain't tripping.
hmm,
Yeah. He got a lot on a lot of people.
he just
I'm sure.
I don't know how you do all that though. I really just
Oh.
but that's just that just drunk and insane.
Lifestyle.
No,
Hmm.
Yep.
I ain't give him that. That's ignorance. He's a retard. Not retarded. He's a retard. You have that much money. You mean to tell me that you couldn't find nothing productive? Yo, but check it though. Before all this shit happened, yo, he used to be mad productive.
He was definitely
No.
one.
Hmm.
I feel you. He was one. Puff. Puff was one of them people that definitely seemed like he didn't sleep and did a lot in the day.
Did like
But
a
I think
gang
that
of shit. Yo, the nigga stayed in the news doing something productive.
That's true.
People get that
you know what
power and they
destroyed him.
just lose. They start losing their minds.
Mm-hmm.
I think what destroyed him was getting in the spotlight and being a star. So when he became a rapper, and listen, listen, we all I know a lot of people was criticizing when he first came out and became an artist, but
Mm-hmm.
became
He don't
like a
get that title until he
a
start writing his own shit.
pop
And
singer.
Puff didn't write none of that shit.
Oh, people don't
Some
care
But a
people
about
are
lot
that.
not.
of artists
Some
don't.
people are
A
not
lot of artists don't.
songwriters. Some people are not lyric writers. Some
Yeah.
people just
Shoot,
aren't
Dr.
good at
Dre
that.
didn't
And
Some
write none of
people.
his stuff.
it
I
Mm-hmm.
don't
mean,
matter. I don't call them artists because they didn't write none of their stuff.
I don't think that's
But
fair. I
no, yeah,
think
that's
if
not.
What he
A
say?
lot of artists don't write their stuff.
Don't worry if I
exactly a lot
write
of artists,
rhymes, I write
Totally goes.
checks. Remember that line?
even back in the, you can go as far
I
back
do.
as
Which
and there was
which
plenty of
which
people.
compliments what I just say.
he was he said that
Mm,
line and
mm,
shut all
mm.
y'all haters up.
Maybe he's not an artist, but he's something else.
Oh, he is definitely an
He's a lot of
entertainer. That's
things.
the title I
Yeah.
would give him, but
Mm-hmm.
not an
Yeah,
artist. Definitely an entertainer.
I
because
mean, I wasn't a
Yeah,
huge
he's big.
fan of his rap.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought he was. I honestly thought he was rather corny, and
Puffy.
yes,
Mhm.
I thought he was rather corny, and you get tired of seeing him up there trying to dance in everybody's video, always in the background with his mouth wide open.
Okay, Suge Knight.
I
He looked
know.
like he couldn't, like, man, like, can you close
All in
your
the
mouth?
videos.
All in the
Yeah.
videos.
All the
Yep. He
videos. That's
was.
what
You
he
know what?
was.
I didn't mind that because
He
that was his
was.
character. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
But
what
it
he
was
did.
annoying. At least to me, I thought it
And
was
not
annoying.
just
I was
the
like,
videos.
I always wondered about the guy with the umbrella. Like, what
Yo,
is that
that's
Oh,
really
who I
what you
want to talk
do?
to.
mm,
Oh, the Farnsworth
Man.
Bentley guy.
Farnsworth.
Bentley.
Andre
Farnsworth.
Bentley, yes.
Farnsworth.
I always thought that was such a peculiar
Yeah.
thing that he was doing. Like, what
It,
are you and why?
Farnsworth Bentley found a
yes.
niche, ran
It
with
was
it.
strange.
Even that
He
little
sure did.
bum ass
It was
album
strange,
he
man.
did, I think went close to platinum. Hey,
He did an
look.
album?
Yeah, he or a couple of songs or something like that.
Now there
Was
was
he
that
rapping or singing? Like, what was he
one.
It
doing?
was like that party. He wasn't rapping so much. He
Mm,
was like,
He was
I
trying
don't
to
know what
ride that
category to
wave.
put him in, but he was funny though. Like I like him.
mm,
He was cool.
He
He's
was
like, I'm
just
gonna ride
weird
that
though. Like,
wave
you
to
a
this
grown
bag.
man holding an umbrella over another grown man,
yeah.
and
It was
I didn't
weird.
know what that was. And
Mm,
now
it's
all
like,
this stuff coming out. I just
That was the
wonder, was he?
beginning.
was he a
mm-hmm.
butler?
Yeah,
Nah, he knows a
No, I don't
lot.
think he was a
I would
butler.
love
I'm
to
sure.
talk to him.
I'm sure he
I don't think he
does.
was a butler.
Yeah.
He
Nah,
was
he
just
was.
somebody that just
he's a
But
butler.
Right.
right. He was a
Right.
butler. Yeah, you got that right.
oh my god.
I wanna circle back to that, but I wanna go recently that happened with Felicia Rashad. Because so Felicia Rashad was on the Breakfast Club a couple days ago, and she spoke a little bit about young women, how they dress, how they respect themselves, right?
I saw that.
And some women had some issues with it. Not a lot because a lot of people respect Felicia Rashad, but they
Hmm.
felt like so. Basically, what she said was that no, go ahead, go ahead. I
I
know it's crazy. I don't know what's going on tonight, but
she
go
said
ahead.
no man wants to see a woman half dressed naked in public. So that statement
Yes.
bothered me.
Is that true though?
Mm.
I don't care. Men don't listen. Men don't care about that shit. Because whether he see you half naked or with clothes on, that man gonna make a decision on whether he wants to holler at you. Then he gonna make a decision on whether he wants to be around you or just fuck you. Then he gonna make a decision on whether he just want to hang around or be something or this is something nice. By that time, the female should be able to pick that up on where he's trying to go with that. But I don't care. Now, I'm more so like, yo, if you're gonna be out here showing your goods, at least look good. I that would be that's common sense to me. That's just like with dudes wearing stuff. Women be
Wait,
like, yo,
hold on, D.
if
Hold
you're
on,
gonna
hold
put
on, hold
something
on.
on and
Here's the
you
thing about that though. Here's the thing about that. A lot, unfortunately, there's a lot of women who are delusional about how they look in certain
that
outfits.
hey, to
They
each his
To each
own.
believe.
point.
To, to each his own. But what
I
we're
mean,
saying, when we see, we just like, yo, at least look good. Some dudes don't care. You know what I'm saying? So, but for the most part, it ain't a matter. Like it's not a make or break if she coming out and her titties out and her ass out for a dude, motherfucker. Yo, it's like seven other women that's probably going to be coming down the block or around the corner that they see that they ain't gonna be. They ain't gonna care what she got on.
Okay, but
They're gonna either
Oh,
be attracted to it or not.
if
nah,
she's
nah,
dressed
you.
like that and you holler at her, let's say, and it progresses into relationship status, you know what I mean? So do you not still care? You guys are like walking
No,
out
no, no,
like
no.
that,
So it's
or
not again.
you expect
It's
change?
yeah. So if he
Mm,
sees that and that's what he likes, then cool. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, it's like men, single men. I can't speak single men. Like don't care. I have an opinion about what my
mhm,
wife's wife wears, but she wears what she wants. She knows what I
mhm.
like, but she wears what she wants. You know what I'm saying? But for like a single person, yo, I ain't got time for that shit. You pulling my energy. Me trying to worry about why the fuck you came out that house looking crazy like that, or looking, or if you're looking good, then I'd be like, oh, you know what? But then I'm lusting. You know what I'm saying? So now my intentions is already bad. You know what I mean?
And I
So
think that's what Felicia was trying to say. Like,
mm,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
if
then
this is
again,
what you're
some men
advertising,
will see
Mhm.
that and think and their intentions be good because the attraction at that time for that person may be the body. Oh, I like what you. Then he gets to like to Gina's point. He may, oh shit, damn, now she can have a conversation. Oh damn, now we got something in common. Then that blossoms into whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it is, to each his own on that shit. So, but for the most part, you think my day is gonna skip a beat? Yo ass coming out here looking like you just got off a pole? Nah, not really. I give a compliment, keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Most men will do that.
Mhm.
Like, oh damn, she got a. And then if he doesn't get anything back, most niggas just gonna move on to the next one.
Mm. That's honest.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I think it depends on if you're talking about relationships, right? So, um, I think some women are in the competition. They push it too far. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not someone who wants to monitor and police what the woman wears. Like I think that I agree with you. It's a lot of energy, but at the same time, I think what happens is that I think her point was that a lot of women don't understand like the stuff that you're gonna attract is a lot what you put out there. So I think her point was that um, everybody's in a race to be dressed the most provocative as possible. Whereas she was sexy, like and Charlamagne made a good point. Felicia Rashad was sexy,
I never looked at her as a sexy woman. I think she was a
Mm.
beautiful soul, but not sexy.
not now, but she was definitely sexy when we was
Nah, she
kids. Cosby
she
Show.
definitely didn't get the sexy
You know what I'm
title.
saying?
The lady from 227,
Now you now
Sean.
you
What's
got to
what's
look
what's
at
the what's the what you would call it? The
Oh,
girl, that
Sandra
lady,
Clark.
Sandra.
Sandra.
oh,
Now that
Sandra.
Sandra.
at that time she was sexy. Felice Rashad never got sexy from me.
She's too
Never.
mom for you.
Now
No, but
you
she
got
was
to look at
too
some pictures of
elegant.
Felicia
Like
Rashad.
mm.
You got to look at pictures of her from like the late '70s.
I I only saw
She was
her
a
through
dancer.
She was
whatchamacallit,
nice.
but it's beautiful. I would say beautiful, never sexy. I
But
never saw her
even
sexy
Sandra,
woman.
even Sandra wasn't over the think that her point that women now are just so over the top, like the younger women are way over the top with it,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Sandra was sexy,
you
but
know,
she was dressed.
Hmm.
Right.
Mhm.
Right? She
right,
didn't just
Right.
have like a couple of pasties over her nipples and just out
Right,
like,
right. She had
Right.
like
So it's
sex
like
appeal.
yeah.
Me,
she
little
had
dude
sex
looking at her
appeal.
like,
Right.
ooh, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where right now the
Right.
sex is just too it's just
and,
too
and,
much in your
All
face.
too in your face.
All the
Very
time.
much so.
and that was the whole issue with Kiki Palmer and her man
No,
Mm.
no.
with the
He's a
whole
retard.
Usher thing.
He's
Now
a
he dealt with it
retard.
wrong.
He's a
He dealt
retard,
with it all. I
dude.
agree. He dealt with it wrong. To go on social media was dumb, but I think at the end of the
Retard.
day, his overall point was like, I mean, that's a conversation they should have had behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? But
If he'd have shut his mouth, she probably would have came back home and knocked the Mario coins out that motherfucker. But no, he wanted to be in his feelings because she was what kind of dress that was, like the little see-through joint, but she had like the undergarment thing on, and she was just enjoying it. And ain't like
it
Usher
was like
grab her
some
ass and
see-through,
no
three
shit like
see-through
that.
dress, or see-through
Listen, man,
pants where
that
she
girl
could see the
had
thong
that
and all that.
baby. That baby done cleared up her skin. She was feeling herself. You embrace that. She coming back home to you, dude. What is you tripping, nigga?
And she was a breadwinner.
And she was
Mm.
a breadwinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. But you
Shut
know
He
up.
didn't
what?
make enough money to
That's
talk. You
that's
need to
easy.
hush.
That's easy to say. That's easy to say. That's easy to say when your woman is not moving like that. So it's easy to say when because your woman don't move like that. So if your woman moved like that,
Listen, I
I
know
don't know.
for
I'm
a
not saying
fact
you would
if
have a
Penny would
problem, but
have
I'm just
went to
saying.
see Usher, Penny would have wore her little nice thing and out there chit chatting it up. But Penny's still coming home to me. I'm not tripping.
But she ain't
Now,
gonna be out there
if
ass naked
if
though.
if, if Penny gets on the plane and flies to Vegas with her, then that's a whole
Get
different
flued out.
story. Get flued out. That's a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? So no, man, that dude should have just chilled out. He wouldn't have had all that bad energy came because he wasn't in it. I believe he wasn't as secure with
He's
himself.
insecure. That's
Well, wait,
yeah.
whoa. Okay, so I always got to play devil's advocate because I do agree with you partly, but I also feel like as a man, you got to demand your respect. If you don't demand your respect, then this is how,
There's a
and
way to
that,
go about
Demand?
that's why I'm gonna
Mhm.
Demand?
Jada. That's why I'm tying this into Jada and Will, right? I'm still freezing up.
You
No, you
sure
ain't
is.
froze at all.
You freeze every time you lie. No, I'm saying.
We heard you clearly talking about a man got to demand his respect. I want to know more about this demand and respect.
You gotta demand your respect. So here's the thing: if you don't demand your respect, if you don't stand on your respect, this is how you end up in Will and Jada land. To me, right? When we
I
talk
think
about
I
respect,
think there's commanding respect because demand meaning you got to respect me.
I
Whereas
got
if
you.
you
You're right.
carry yourself a certain way, you command that meaning it comes to you, right? For me to be an independent woman, and I'm proud of my all the things I've done for myself. But if I meet a man that commands that respect, I'm bagging up and I'm respecting that. And it
You're
doesn't have
right.
to be a fight over it, right? Doesn't have to be a
Yeah.
debate. That guy was already in a relationship with Kiki and she making all the money and she cute. And she up there with Usher and he got all his money and he at home feeling
hmm
like a broke loser.
They
And now
probably
you gotta
got in an
act out and
argument
now you on the social
because
media.
he tried to get him some before she left, and she was not trying to be late for Usher concert, and he was in his feelings. Then she went out there and had fun. Usher doing what Usher does for all his shows, because it wasn't like he did it just for her. All his shows, they ain't touch her, ain't rub her down no sexy way, just serenade her. And this dude was in his feelings, and he made it a big ass spectacle.
Yeah.
I hate celebrities. These
So he was
motherfuckers
in
can't just call and talk to your lady on the phone or your people on the phone. Everything is on
It
with an
has to be put
agenda.
on
Straight to the
up front.
internet,
so he
straight.
was a
Well, yeah,
man
I
baby.
I agree. He shouldn't have been Twitter fingers at all. Twitter fingers
Mm-mm.
was a
No.
problem, but
Right.
Now Will and
I guess the
Jada,
pr- the,
they're
pre- the
just a
premise of it.
Hot mess.
they're an unbalanced relationship. They're an unbalanced
Jada's
couple.
a
What they call it,
Jada's
equally
a
yoked.
pimp.
Mm-hmm.
She's a
Unequally
pimp
yoked.
and he's something. Now I don't know if we believe the rumors about him being in the closet. There's a level of dysfunction in all of that, right?
hmm
To where I don't even know why. Because I mean, she could have fucked anybody on the planet. You choose your son's friend. Like that's just some whole other level of messiness and dysfunction,
It's
right?
only messy because that nigga couldn't play his position and shut the fuck up. How you speak about humping Jada? Nigga, you keep that to your grave, dude. Even if
He's their kid's friend. Who
hey,
does
look,
that?
Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah.
still, shut up.
He was
Cause
the
that didn't
youngest.
come out until he opened his mouth.
Yeah.
He's a retard.
He was the
But
youngest.
you're not respecting your household. Like, and I mean, there's ways to do anything, but there should be rules, right? So you have zero respect for Will. And even with the slap, let's say that it was all real or whatever. I don't know any woman that would hear her man popping off and don't be like, babe, just relax, just pull him
Right,
back.
just
Like,
chill.
why'd you let him do all of that and go up
Cause
there?
she's a puppet master, yo. Tell you she's a pimp.
Yeah, so she didn't protect him. While he protecting her, she didn't protect him.
It
Right.
was
I'm
a
not letting
joke.
my man
That
go up
motherfucker
and
been
And
hit
he
never
been
somebody.
around jokes all his life. Heard them, bought them, whatever.
No, I think listen, I think the thing is that with Will, you know, yeah, I believe August Alstina shouldn't have said nothing, but I think with Will, it's about respect, right? So I think Jada's dark. She always had a dark vibe about her, and
She
I
a
think she was
thug.
never happy. So that's a situation where you have somebody who's never happy and is always complaining. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of what he does, I don't think she was ever going to be happy, and I don't think that was something he could really fix. But
It wasn't Tupac.
Mm.
How you married and you keep talking about some other dude all the time?
Who
Got
she
your
really
baby writing letters to him. He died before she was even born.
mm,
What make it make sense? So Will should have been a man a long time ago. But like, no, I can't. He should have
Yeah.
dismissed her
mm.
because she's been disrespecting him for decades. Okay, you're not
Well,
somebody's wife, and you just got some other man name coming out your mouth all the time.
I'll be honest with you though. Pac, Pac was one of them dudes. I'll tell you right now. Like if your woman like Pac in those days, you need to just kind of fold and just go the other way because he was just too he was too popular. You know, uh, I'm not saying good looking. That's for y'all to decide. But Pac was just too charismatic and too he was too charismatic and just too monumental of a person. But
Way too
I don't
magnetic.
know. I think she just didn't respect homie. I think that was the problem.
I
So
You
mean,
don't respect him.
no. I mean, and he should have stood up for himself. There's only so much disrespect that you can take before
That's all I'm saying.
and complain about it. If you're not going to do nothing about it, then you stay in your place. Then because if this is what you're going to continue to allow, then it's going to be what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he gonna
You can
keep
let that woman
disrespecting
run
you and
amok.
you keep allowing it, then I mean, I don't know what you want people to say about it. I don't know what you know what kind of sympathy or I don't know what it is that you're exactly looking for from other people. I mean, if you're not gonna do anything about it, well, what you
But
expect
he
other
does
people
it.
to
But
do?
he never complains about her. He don't. It's the
let me,
public
let
that
me,
judges her and be like that bitch.
let's reverse for a minute. I want to go back to Kiki Palmer for a minute because my recording was reckless and I wanted to hop in on that. I want to go back to Kiki Palmer. Now, I don't think Twitter finger boyfriend should have done that. However, what I'm saying is that going back to what Felicia Rashad said is that some women have to have better judgment is the point, right? So
Hmm.
the thing about it is that obviously it's nothing wrong if you're gonna go to a Usher concert, go kick it, whatever you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? But if you go out, let's say you're going out to the club, and again, I'm not somebody I don't babysit what my wife wears. You know what I'm saying? But she have decent judgment. It's like she'll be like, she'll try something on and be like, sometimes she'll be like, this is too much, and I'll be like, well, it's cool to me. She'll ask me, but some women are like, I'm gonna go all the way out. I'm gonna have my ass out. Everything's gonna be sheer. You just gonna see my thong. And my thing is that if homeboy is at home watching and his woman is on TV and the internet and everywhere else, and everything is sheer and clear and you can see everything. My thing is that, yeah, she had a right to do it, but I'm saying, is that the right? Because his whole, I forgot his text, but his thing was about just respect. So my thing is
He
that,
saw her
Said
leave
she
out the
was a
house.
mother. He specifically was like, "Oh, you're a mother."
That was his problem. Like moms can't look sexy, dude. You
Yeah.
saw her get dressed as you
well, it's
probably
not
was
about
talking
moms
to
looking
her.
sexy. Moms can look sexy. That's not a problem. And
That was his.
I feel what you're saying because you're right. He played himself. So as a man, if you had a problem, you should just say something. The problem is he had a problem before she left and didn't say nothing, and he let it
Right.
fester. So that was where he went wrong. I agree with you.
They got a
I
But
mean,
name for those type of men. Bitch assness. You just a bitch ass. You should have said something because I mean, here's what though. Because the thing is, if
yo,
she wore
bitch
that
ass nigga.
in, she's always dressed like that. Like that's her, right?
Mhm.
So you have a problem now because I got a baby? No, he was just in his feelings for whatever reason. He
Hmm.
just
I
didn't have
tell
well,
y'all, he tried to hunch before she
hold,
left,
hold
and
up,
she wouldn't give him none because she didn't want to be late.
hold up.
bitch.
Did Kiki Palmer always dress like that? Because I don't remember her being all extra.
Kiki do show her body.
Her
She's a big
Show
moments.
her
fan of
body.
her of
Yeah.
her little curves. She's a big fan. But she went out, dude. It wasn't like she was butt naked up under the chair.
She
It
Mhm.
wasn't
really
dressed like
wasn't.
sexy red.
It was facts. It was like she had like a sheer dress on, and she had a bra top, and I think the panties or something like that.
Mhm.
But it wasn't like she had the pasties
Mhm.
on her titties, or I don't even think she wore a thong. B, to be honest, I was just like, it was just a shit.
Okay,
Dude,
you
she
right with
coming
that.
back to the crib like all the 90% of the time you seen this lady go out, enjoy her night without you. She ain't do nothing crazy. Now all of a sudden, it's a problem because she popped out a bait. Dude, shut the fuck up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Mm-mm.
ridiculous.
Let me
That
tell
was
you.
What's this?
crazy.
You think she's not going to be respected? She's Kiki Palmer. People know and respect her. You think she's going
They
to
don't
get
know you
raped? No,
do.
she's not. I mean, she's fine. She's at a busy Usher concert. So, like, he needs to get to the core of exactly what is your issue, right?
Hmm.
Oh, I guess she did have a thong on. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Dang, she thick. She,
Too much.
Oh, so she had a
but it's
corset
not a
on
bra.
type
She had a
thing.
whole
Like,
top on. Her whole
dude,
top is
I
covered.
listen. If my if my penny is
Look at
comfortable,
Usher looking at it though.
like I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure,
See,
Of course he's looking at it. What you think he gonna do?
but everybody, he ain't out there grabbing her booty cheeks. He
No,
ain't
no, you moving
picking
the
her up.
goalposts. You moving the goalposts,
He
fam. Come
ain't
on,
doing
man.
all
yeah,
that.
look at.
It's just the
About-
fact that it's there and it's out,
It's just
right?
there.
Listen,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't me personally. Me personally, it probably wouldn't bother. It wouldn't bother me like that. I'd be trying to set up some business deals with Usher or something. You know what I'm saying? Like what we can
Wow.
see what we can
Listen,
Gotta
do.
capitalize on it. Put
However,
some money,
let's
make some money off of it.
let's take a moment. Let's
but I
take a
would,
moment.
but
Let's look at that booty for a
I
minute.
wouldn't be like, you
That's
a
a good booty.
mommy. I wouldn't be like, you a mommy. You can't dress like that. Hell nah. You better show that shit off. It's partially mine. I have real estate there, so I'm
Yeah,
not really tripping.
That is so funny.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, that baby put the weight in the right place on her.
right. I don't remember her being thick like that,
Yeah,
girl.
that baby did
She done growed up.
that. Hmm.
Cakes.
Yeah,
Oh my
I mean,
God, this is
He
crazy.
still that should not have been what it was. And I mean, when she left the house, he saw her. He should have said, "Babe, you want to put something else on, or like you going out like
He
that?" If he felt
listen,
insecure,
just like you
Right.
have to, just
but
like
I
you
wouldn't
said,
listen.
play devil's advocate. So he probably did say that. As far as me being a fan watching Kiki, she probably barked on his ass like, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
hmm
Knowing her, seeing her character from a third person type shit. Like,
Yeah,
she probably would have looked at him as like, yeah, I'm still going. I'm wearing this. Like, you're not going to tell me what
Mhm.
the fuck to wear. You know.
Well, but here's the question though. I mean, I can feel that, but ultimately, I guess my point is like, do you feel like you know are women respecting? Because what this is what people had an issue with Felicia Rashad when she said that she had said a man wouldn't want a woman showing herself a certain way. That was her point, and a
But
lot of a lot of
what is that woman to that man? That's my thing.
this is all. So let's just assume that you're in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Or if that man wants to be with you, I guess I'm just guessing what her point was. Her point was that a man isn't necessarily going to say, "Okay, I want this person to be my woman," quote unquote. That was her point. I'm not saying that's what I
That's so
agree with.
broad though.
Well, we got to assume just for the sake of the argument that she's talking about for a relationship. So she got to assume, based on her words, I'm assuming that she's saying, okay, when once a man decides like this is my woman and you're mine, that he isn't necessarily going to want somebody dressing
Oh, I
overly provocative.
mean,
You know what
okay,
I'm
I can
saying?
get that, but that
So
comes with conversation. You know
right,
what I'm
no, no
saying?
doubt, no doubt. But I guess the point is like the point with it with Kiki Palmer. Like I do agree, right? I agree he should have said something in the way he did it was wrong. But the question is like, do women have parameters? I think most women do have parameters.
we do. But even
Understand?
and let's make this point very clear. That was her boyfriend, baby daddy.
What that
Okay,
mean?
not her
Oh, that
husband.
comes with different rules.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not her husband.
That's different rules. Even from a man's point of view, you might listen. If you my girlfriend, or we just hunching, or I just have a baby from you, and we each other, and you rocking that out there, I'm still thinking the same way. You coming to the crib afterwards. I'm about to knock them warrior coins out of you. Go have fun. Go get all your hormones up in the roar, and bring it all back to me.
I'm home.
He's a celebrity. He does that. like you going to a show where he does things like that. My girl is a celebrity. I
Mhm.
Dude, come on now. I'm not losing. I
Well, here's the thing, though. I agree with you. So you're speaking from the perspective, and the reason why I feel you is because I'm the same way. I'm not going to be losing sleep over that. It's just not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying?
and I'm trying to rearrange her guts before she even go anyway. So she ain't gonna
But,
be got
but,
time for that
Talking
mess.
about the point where he even feels like he has something to say about what she wears. And at the very least, your husband, I would think, okay, you may want to stop and consider what your husband is saying. But your boyfriend, like, I didn't had your baby and we're not married. And now they're not even together. So, I mean, that
Mhm.
goes into where is your level of commitment to
They
this
are
woman?
back together.
Yeah.
Oh, they are?
Mhm.
Oh,
oh, wait
Yes.
a minute.
Kiki, girl, that ain't gonna work. Oh,
Yeah,
you're muted, Osu. You're on mute, Osu.
crazy.
My bad. Hold up. So, G, I'm glad you said that because I didn't know that. So
Oh yeah,
now
they
that
had got back together a while ago.
so all right now this is just a great example,
Oh,
right?
nothing doesn't change.
Now here's the thing. What I'm asking you to do, fam, as a man, I agree with you because I'm that same type of man. However, we gotta allow some grace. I don't think his point was totally crazy, is my point. I don't think he was totally crazy. Like he wasn't, he may not
He
fit
just
how
went
we
about it the wrong way.
he went about it the wrong way, and he may not fit into the category of you and I, right? Because
Hmm.
I'm not losing sleep over that. It's just not that serious. But
Mhm.
people was acting like that dude was crazy. He wasn't crazy. He just may have a different parameter as to how he feel. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They did like everything else that go on the internet. You know, them shits grow legs. They grow a whole
Hmm.
personality depending on
That's
whoever
right.
Exactly.
pick
They get
picked
embellished.
apart whatever they say. So
Hmm.
he was
well,
subject to that.
let's take a step back. Let's take a look at his overall premise. So he's saying, "Yo, you know what? This is my woman and the mother of my child. You know, I would have wanted her to carry herself differently. I don't think that that's crazy. I think that what I'm saying. I get that she's a celebrity and she can do what she want to do and she's a grown woman. There's no debate, right? That's cool. I get it, but it's not crazy because here's the thing, Sabina. When you talk about command and respect, that's what command and respect is, right? So I think that yeah, the point is maybe she don't respect them because if I have a woman, I mean the way I move, I just command respect. I'm not gonna make you do nothing, but I'm gonna he could have dealt with it differently, but I don't think the premise was way out of bounds. I think the thing is that if you here's the thing, let me give you an example. Well, will Beyonce do it? Beyonce might do it. Alicia Keys did it. Well, Alicia Keys, Usher was grinding on Alicia Keys too, so maybe they're not
Right.
good examples. So never mind. But
So his feelings, anyone's feelings can be valid, right? It
Right.
makes you uncomfortable. She's dressed like that. It is what it is. We can't invalidate how he feels about it. But the thing is, we got to look at your relationship dynamics. What have you
Hmm.
poured into this relationship? What is your level of commitment? How is it that she's had your child, y'all living together, and you're not married?
He's living
And
with
that
her.
well,
does say something. And I
wait
know
a
for a lot
minute.
of independent women, you may regard your husband a little bit deeper than a boyfriend
Oh
or
no, I'm not
a
letting you
baby
get away
daddy.
with that one. I ain't letting you get away with
I'm
that.
just saying.
Now that's a good point. That's a good point, and you might be right. Now here's my thing. Now the marriage or not marriage, that could be mutual, or that could be because it could because remember she had more resources, so she may be kind of lacking on wanting to get married more than him. So that's the one thing. He might have wanted to marry her, but she
Could be,
might
but
be
I
the
doubt
one.
it.
You think so?
Protect your assets. Mm.
She might be
That's
like,
what a
Well, that
prenup
you
is
know,
for.
she ain't thinking about her assets.
That's what a
well,
prenup is for, ain't it?
That's what a prenup is for. She
Mm,
ain't.
I don't
she.
know. Some people, not everybody want to get married right away.
Kiki
Not
Well,
gonna
let me,
be
everybody
let me,
want
let me
to,
say
but
this.
I
Let
can
me say
Kiki gonna
see
this.
be
her
just
wanting
like
that.
Halle Berry.
I got the point. I lost my point. So the point is exactly. So the point is that the difference between like Alicia Keys or Beyonce, they're married to famous people who got just as much or more than Usher. So
Yeah.
the point is that she's married to an everyday person. If you're a celebrity and you're married to a non-celebrity, I think you have to think about that part of it. So either that non-celebrity has to be extremely comfortable, because if you're an everyday guy, you're not used to your woman being on, not only being on stage with somebody, you know, but also being all over the internet. So you have to look at that.
Oh, hell no. You had sex with this woman 9 months ago. That means you was having sex with her almost
Get
a
a
year ago to
whole
get
baby.
all of this going to have that whole baby. You mean to tell me he didn't understand how this girl moves? Not saying in a bad way, but she's at this party. She at this exclusive party. She's talking to
Yes,
this
that's
person.
true.
And on top of that, this is her childhood person that she has never met, that she's going to this show and she's going to have fun. Like you can't put all that together and be like all of the listen, I'm telling you, he tried to get him some before she left and she shitted on him
That's
and
his
she
theory.
went to the party.
Wait,
He was in his feelings. And
well,
she
okay.
was told his ass stay home with this baby. Shut the fuck up while
See,
I
you
go and have
wilding. You
fun.
wilding right
Just
now.
look.
You wilding right now. You know why you wilding? Because
Watch this baby.
that's a very that could be the theory. It could be true. But listen, here's the thing. So if she goes to the show, you saying she going to have fun, right?
Mhm.
Cool, no problem. If she wearing that outfit and everybody got to see it, everybody's seeing it. You know what I'm saying? And you, as a man, you like, this is my woman, the mother of my children. I
Man,
claim this.
I am proud. Look what I got.
It ain't about you could be proud, but I'm saying that I feel you. Again, I'm not against you because I agree with you. However, I just feel like sometimes if you have a man that you care about, you could be doing too much. There's something that you could be doing too much. Sometimes you ain't gotta do too much. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
But
So what
she
you
But
may
think?
if
What
not
a
you
think
man
think?
who's
that's too much.
insecure, I could be in a turtleneck, and that man's going to have an issue. True story. I've lived that. To where if a man's going to be insecure, he's insecure. Whether I'm half naked or in a turtleneck, because you are insecure. And a woman, you can never win that battle. I cannot make you trust me. I cannot give you the security you need. You need to fix whatever trauma that you have that's making you so insecure. And you need to see who you're with and trust that I'm coming home to you. So those are all him issues, not her. So she could have been with Usher half naked, that little sheer thing she had on, or she could have been covered from head to toe. His insecurity is his insecurity. It's not a her thing.
I'm gonna respond to that, but I'm gonna wait for Gina to talk. But I have a direct response for that because I'm sticking up for the men tonight.
Woo! That's that chocolate wine. They got a little feeling some kind of way.
What you sipping on, twin? In your little
It's the
That
chalice
chocolate wine
over
that
there.
chocolate divine, chocolate divine.
Got
Mm.
chocolate wine. It's got liquor in it.
No, it's called Choco Divine. Yeah, it's like red wine with chocolate. It's really
Ew.
good.
she tripping. She
Gina, what was you gonna say, G? And I'm gonna
go
respond back
ahead,
to Steph.
Gina.
um, just the other thing I was thinking about with that whole scenario with Kiki was like, also like take into consideration she had a baby, right? There is a such thing called postpartum. You're feeling depressed, you're not feeling your best, you just think you're the ugliest thing ever, right? And now she's like, you know what, I'm gonna go out with the girls, I am gonna have myself a good time. This baby did make me pop out in certain places, and I'm gonna show it off. And I'm sure that made her feel, some kind of a way, because you do feel a way after you have a baby. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if the baby's a couple of months, even into a year or more, people can still have postpartum. So I think that might be a part of it too. Like, look, I got it's
Yeah,
a
who's
whole new
sexy
me.
back?
You know,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And also another part too, a lot of people look at Kiki, and I can say me too, like as little Kiki Palmer. You know what I mean? Like for
Mhm.
so many years, she was our Aquila and the Bee and all these things, and people
Love
still
love that movie.
like a youngin. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
she's like, no, I'm a grown ass woman now. I need y'all to
Mhm.
see that. I'm a grown
Yeah.
ass woman, and
But
Yeah.
she
was
got to show the cheeks.
like,
But she
huh?
got to show all the cheeks. She got to show all the cheeks, huh?
She had to show them off because even I was like, "Damn, Kiki," you know what I mean? I never seen her in that
Oh,
light before, so I think that might be a part of it. I mean, we don't know for sure, of course, but that's just
it is hard
something to think
to
about.
make that transition from child star into grown
Yeah.
woman. And
Yeah.
so
Yes.
I feel like a lot of women who were in her position that were child stars evolving into women from the public's view, it seemed like they wild out. It seemed like
Mhm,
every time you see them now they half naked or they're
mhm.
doing too much or going too far. And it might be true to
Yeah.
some respect, trying to show everybody, hey, I'm
Yeah.
grown now. I'm
Yeah.
not no little girl. I'm a grown woman. See
Mhm,
me as a grown woman. Like Miley Cyrus is
mhm,
a very big example of that.
mhm.
From Hannah Montana
Oh
to,
my gosh,
ooh,
yes.
I don't even know what to say about that one. She was lost
But
up
you
there
ain't
in
gonna
my
keep no. But you're not gonna keep no man with wilding out. That's the thing. It's okay if
I
you
mean,
single.
you right. You,
It's okay.
I
Do
mean,
y'all
that's
really
true.
think she's
A
wilding
lot of
out?
the
Like, how many times have y'all actually seen her with her ass out?
No, she's good. She's no Kiki Wyatt. Kiki Wyatt. Kiki
Oh, now
Palmer.
Kiki, that's a
Woo,
whole other
whole
episode,
nother
y'all.
topic. Yeah.
Woo, yeah.
Kiki, Kiki Palmer. That's a Kiki Palmer is not wilding out. She's just a good that incident was just a good case study to talk about because
Mhm,
my thing. Okay, let me go back to what Savvy said. So in relation to insecure, right? So it's interesting because that's where the line between respect and insecurity. So as a man, sometimes when men command respect, right? And or demand respect, you're automatically put the insecure badge on. And I think that it depends, right? A man a man saying, okay, that might not be appropriate doesn't mean he's insecure. It just means that that might not be appropriate. You understand what I'm saying? So, and here's the thing. The point is to me is that there was a time where women had a little bit more. I'm not saying now again. I'm not. I know the way you're looking at me, but there was a time where I think women culturally policed themselves a little bit better. I think, and I think now it's like, let me see who I could upstage. Let me see who I could do more on. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that you could look sexy. Sexy is all good. I'm all good with sexy, but you have to also be aware of the fact that okay, if I'm going to honor and be with my man, let me just take a look at what I'm wearing and make sure I'm not going too far. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. There has to be some room for that.
I agree with
yeah.
that. But I'm saying
That's the
that
thing. Yeah, sorry. Go
I've
ahead.
I've I've dated men who were insecure, and you've known me for years, and I don't go. I'm not tacky. I'm not gonna go out with stuff. What Kiki wore, I wouldn't wear that, right? But if a man is insecure, it don't matter what you're wearing, they're gonna have an
That's
Yeah,
issue
true.
with it, right?
That
Why are you
is
looking
true.
like that? Why that's like
Mhm.
you're looking for something, and it's all him. It don't matter if I'm in a turtleneck or in a
Mhm.
bikini. You have an issue with it because you are insecure. And maybe
Mhm.
he's not insecure. Maybe they should have had a conversation. But I mean, the fact that he had to go out and share with thousands of people how he
yeah.
That
felt
was
about the mother of
absolutely.
his child going
Mhm.
out wearing that outfit, that leads me to believe you're insecure because
I can
now
feel
you
you on that.
need you're looking for people to co-sign with you, right,
Mhm.
and attack her.
Mhm.
That's where the bitch assness was because I got too
Ding
much
ding
pride.
ding.
I'm not Twitter fingering. I got pride. You know what I'm saying? I'm old school. I got pride. I'm not gonna even if I feel that way. I'm not letting all y'all know so I can look crazy. You know
Right.
what
You
I'm
got
saying?
respect for your wife.
That was a goofy move.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. He really wanted to embarrass her. He
he
really,
wanted to embarrass her,
yeah.
He
so he
embarrassed
said
himself
you
though.
knock her
Boy,
down.
Yeah,
did
he
that
did.
backfire.
It backfired. Yes.
You did.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly. Mhm.
Yeah, he
That
embarrassed himself.
he
You
Mhm.
he
did.
he had them cheeks circulating.
Right. Because I would not have paid attention to it before. Now
all
I'm like, oh damn,
all
Kiki,
because
okay.
he said something. Motherfuckers like, well, what are we talking about? Man, look at Kiki
Yep.
cheeks.
And
Blew
That's
now I'm
true.
her.
looking at Usher and his millions of dollars, looking at Kiki's $1 million cheeks, and broke ass at
Man,
home. And now
That's
it's,
pissed
true.
it's
off.
it's brought to attention because
Yep.
you did that.
Mhm.
Pissed
Hey,
We
off
you're
weren't
not
thinking
saying
about
nothing.
you.
if
Mhm.
he would have realized the level of sex he would have got that night.
Yeah.
Man,
She
because
wasn't
Kiki
getting
was,
nothing.
because Kiki,
She
she
was
was
gonna come home and be
feeling.
like, I got
Listen,
tired.
she was feeling herself. She had
No,
that
she wasn't.
alcohol in her.
Well, now that outfit, she was on fire the whole
Yeah,
night. She was
she
She
getting
was
was.
home
feeling
like,
herself.
yes.
She had
She
And
that
then listen, the Usher
alcohol in
music
her.
too. She was
she would
getting primed
Yes.
up.
yeah,
I
Yes.
she was getting primed to come home and be like, I had a great time and I'm so tired, I'm about to go to bed.
No,
No, because
no, sir.
I would
No,
have had. You remind me of the love that and had that playing as she came through the door and show and I'd have did that little dance move thing with her hand and twirl her ass right to the shower and tow her ass around and right to the
Oh
bed and
my
tow her
god.
ass.
That's what
yeah.
you wish. That's what you wish. But she was at
We're
that
not.
concert
Ain't
late.
nobody coming back from Usher concert talking about you tired. That's
No,
coming home from
you're turned
work.
out. You're
Coming
turned
from
out.
Usher, you on
With a
no.
Man,
sexy
please.
whole vibe, a sexy
The
mood.
whole
Right.
vibe. And
Yeah.
then she looking sexy too. So she's feeling
Mm.
more sexy after having
Yes.
that damn baby. And
Yes.
I'd
maybe
have
not
got
feeling sexy
I
before.
I'd have got that text. I'd have text. I'd be like, "Ooh, girl, I'm about to bite your left, right cheek."
Yeah. All the cakes. Dude
And
fumbled. He fumbled the
I'd
cheeks.
have,
Pretty.
she'd have wrote back, LOL. Then I'd be like, man, let me go get these roses real quick and get this
Yeah.
music playing.
He fumbled all the cakes because the
Yeah.
cakes was prime and ready. And
Yeah.
maybe he's, I don't know, how old is he? Are they in their 20s still? They 30s?
I
I
think Kiki in her 30s.
It's
they're
early.
in the
In their
30s.
30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe he don't have that level of maturity to kind of assess the situation.
Mm.
But it didn't have to be that. It did not have to be that at all.
Yes. If
It didn't have to
anything,
happen.
he could have.
Nope.
If
No.
he was
Nobody needed to
influenced
know.
her, he could have been bigging her up. Like, damn, baby, you killed that. Because when Usher does come around, those moments, that's like your moment to show out,
Hmm.
or whatever. And if you fumble, it's like, oh, that was whack. You know what I mean? But she did that, so he could have been bigging her up, and like you said, it would have been on and popping.
I had a post on Twitter, me sitting back just like this.
Yep.
Yeah.
That should have been the post right there.
Yep. Yep.
Waiting on my girl Kiki to come home.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
Yes. That would have been sweet.
No, I agree. I agree. I
E-
wouldn't have been it wouldn't have bothered me like that either. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I think he shouldn't have went on there, but
Mm-mm.
I at the same time, I understand the premise of what he was trying to say. But I agree with you. I would have had her come home and did what I needed to do, but I wouldn't have been worried about it. Usher wouldn't necessarily be a threat. I don't see Usher as a threat. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
she's gay. Okay.
yeah, Usher ain't a threat. But I don't know. I mean, if she was up there with Pac or somebody, it might have been different.
Wait,
Because
what? With who?
I was saying
He
if she was
said
up there
Pac.
with Tupac or somebody, Tupac and them would have been trying to take Kiki home to hit it.
oh my god.
Your woman wouldn't have came home. she
Steal your girl.
Oh my god,
wouldn't have came home. Or
that
she
is
was with
funny.
Tyrese or Tank or one of them other R&B
Oh no.
dudes. Your
Tank is
lady ain't coming
gay.
home.
She said Tank is gay.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Any man
Watch
that
the
say
watch
he
the
any
Jaguar
man
Ride videos.
any man that he said oh I can't watch Shorty. She is wildin'.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Jaguar Wright. Jaguar
Ooh,
Wright is
That's
wild.
a lot.
Jesus. I have I don't know, a strange feeling when people have that deep of a vendetta against people that every time you see them they just whether it's true or not, but
well, she's cuckoo.
their
She got a whole lot
energy
of
is
cuckoo about her.
so much into the downfall or the bringing down of like other people. That is wicked, yo.
Yeah, no, she got some deep seated mental health issues.
I
She
listen. I
does.
don't know her personally. You know, it's just
Mm-hmm.
that
I've been
that
watching her since during COVID, so I was
She
hearing
got
all
a
about this
grudge.
Diddy stuff. And
She
then
got a
when it
great
happened, I'm like,
everybody.
oh my God, she was right.
Yeah, like to have that many. Well, and again, she
Man.
could be right about a lot of stuff, but when you, I mean, you know what? I'm just
Like
seeing
obsessed about
videos.
it.
Yeah, but every video you just dogging someone like I don't know. That's a lot of energy, boy.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Oh no, she's crazy. She crazy.
I think it's a mixture of two
There's
things. I think it's.
there.
Oh, go ahead, G. I'm sorry.
Sorry. No, I was just saying I believe there's some truth in what she says, but not everything.
Yeah.
Like some stuff you're just like,
No.
mm,
Right, could be,
mm,
but
I don't
Yeah.
that's
think
neither
so.
here or there. Whatever they got going, ain't got nothing to do with me. It's just when everything is about you just throwing that energy towards people like that. That's crazy. Like I don't see no videos of her like singing no more. Like you got to search for them. Everything that's circulating is about her just dogging this
Mhm.
person, talking about this person, bringing up this person, this with this person, that person.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and she looks so drained in her eyes when she's talking about these people. I'm like, yo,
Mhm.
let it. I mean, it did that. Just to come to them. If they did you wrong. You know what I mean? But she's a beautiful voice. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
like
Beautiful.
get
I
to
think it's a
get to
mixture
your
of two
element.
things, though. I think it's a mixture of with someone like her. I think part of it is. I think some of it may be true as far as things she saw in the industry, right? Because
Mhm.
she was saying a lot of these things that came out a while ago. I think the other part of it is bitter artist syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Because she was one of them artists that was in the mix, and she didn't quite
She
get
probably
all the
got
shine.
scarred. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know
Or
what I'm saying?
burned or
Yeah,
so I can see that.
she didn't
Yeah.
she didn't get all the shine she probably thought she was going to get, and she is very bitter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because she don't really have a lot to say good about much of anybody. You know.
Nothing, yo.
No.
Like I don't even see videos of her just speaking good on people. Like it's just and I know that's how the algorithm is and
Yeah.
that's how the internet is, but being a fan of hers and like seeing it's like Jesus Christ, like that I'm just hearing the song with her and Jay-Z. So I was like made me think about it and I'm just like, yo, yeah, that's
Crazy.
too
Yeah.
much energy. That's too you give she's giving them way too much power.
Mhm.
Way too much power.
Mhm.
Well, that's what gets the clicks. You know what I'm saying? So that's what she
Yeah.
did.
No.
So
It's crazy.
I
She
don't know.
talks about him so much. Sorry, Shy. I was just
No,
gonna
go ahead. Go ahead, G.
she talks about Jay Z so much, but yet she will still post that MTV video. I mean, because that's like the biggest, one of the
That
biggest
was
things in
her
her career.
high.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're gonna dog the man out, but yet, oh, this was the best, da 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 da, and it's just like, it's just kind of crazy.
Well, you know what? Honestly, I think that she she um she hates Jay Z because he just one of them people that don't respond and just does his thing. And I told people months back when that woman filed that lawsuit that it was going to be bullshit, and she did end up. They ended up dismissing that whole the 13-year-old
Yeah.
claiming that he and Diddy raped her. And I said that was all bullshit. I said that's not going to go anywhere because you know when I did videos about it, people were like, "Oh,
I think
you
I
just
read he sued her back. Or
yeah, he threw her back. Yeah, that's a Jay Z move
Yeah.
right there.
The
He's like,
lawyer
it
okay,
sure
well,
is.
and the
That's
lawyer
we gon'
too. He sued,
we
right?
we ain't just gonna dismiss this thing. We gonna actually sue you.
yo, he on his 50 Cent shit right now.
Yeah,
Woo.
but you can't blame him though.
That.
You really can't blame him.
Yeah, I probably did the same thing too. Nope, I'm about to get your ass.
Yeah, we about to get all that money back, so that's
Mm-hmm.
what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but no, I think that the respect as far as the women, I think that that's definitely something that there is a fine line between insecure and respect.
I
I
don't believe that shit. Hell no. I don't believe that. No, no, no. That depends on who's the respect coming from, right?
Well, no, I'm just talking about as far as the man woman respect. You know what I'm saying? As far as depression. So,
I think they in their own lane.
man, who you talking
And
about?
respect is mutual.
There
Respect
is
is mutual.
the fine line, like whether someone respects someone or not, and then whether someone is uh what the fuck you just say? Respecting what?
No, I was saying about the respect between having respect and
Insecurity.
someone being insecure.
Okay, yeah, someone being
You
like
know,
insecure. I mean, that's what's the phrase? Subjective. Uh,
Yeah, it is subjective. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it's very easy to be like, oh, that man is secure, or that man is secure. So I think a lot of it depends on how the woman move, how the woman's moving too. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, again,
Or
like
both of them, how they are with each other. Like
yeah,
what Savvy said, like we don't know their dynamics in the house and how that
Mm.
is laid out. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
he probably just tell that nigga to shut up every day. You know what I'm saying? And let her rock. Or, she could have loved him or whatever it is. Like Regina said, we don't know, but
But let's
um
keep it real though. Men are territorial. Men have always been territorial, right? That's
right,
just
but
Mm.
just like
nature of
me
being
and
a man.
you, we're territorial, but we ain't flipping out like that. We ain't
No,
flipping
Or
out like that.
control. Because even like with insecurity, and from my experience, insecurity is something that's from that person. Even women who are insecure, no matter what that man does, she's gonna always want or need more because that insecurity starts with her.
But I
The other
think
right.
person,
the origin could come from other people though.
well, yeah. So you got to be in your lane too. So, like, if he knows, let's look at Kiki Palmer. Now, if that man knows that her being who she is, and
Hmm.
having the money that she has, and having the exposure to all these other celebrities, if you can't handle that, you don't need to be with her
Right.
because maybe that's going to be a trigger to your insecurities, right?
The time.
So you have to know who you are with and understand, are you going to be insecure? There are some men, maybe they grew up and they always were the ugly duckling. Now they got somebody they think is a dime, right? But
Mm-hmm.
why she with me? So you're thinking ugly duckling, you wondering why this woman is with you, and you are just worrying the hell out of her,
Mm.
not because of what she's doing, but because of who she is and who you are and where your comfort levels are. So that's why I'm saying insecurity comes from here. It can come from other people. We have triggers, right? We all have triggers that make us feel insecure or uncertain about something, whether it's our job, our
Mm.
looks, our money, whatever. We all have something that will make us feel unsettled. But if that source of your insecurity is in your mate, then you kind of fucked up, and there's nothing, it's hard to help with that. I can't make, I am with you. I'm sorry you were made fun of when you were in middle school, or you used to be fat and
Mm,
you lost weight and you still got the
mhm,
insecurity. I'm with you.
mhm.
I'm 10 toes down. But it's like no matter how much I try to reinforce that, if you still have that insecurity, it's hard
That's
to get over that. That's an
absolutely.
internal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
for sure.
respect, you should always
Mhm.
respect your spouse. And that's 50-50, right?
Yeah.
But those are
Well,
two
sometimes
way different
the
things.
thing about it is, I'm not for policing your partner, right? But I think at the same time, you know, sometimes you have relationships where it does get to that point where if you're uncomfortable, you should speak up. So here's the problem with men as a man, right? So this is the catch 22. If you don't say anything, you don't necessarily get that respect, right? If you do say something, then we go into you're insecure. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it's important to have conversations to clarify the difference, because that's why I said it can be a fine line. They can border each other sometimes if there's no clarity. So, for instance, if that guy she's married to is a personal trainer, again, I'm just going to Kiki because it was a nice little example. So that guy, he's a personal trainer. So if we flip it and he's the richer guy and she's regular everyday girl, she's probably not up on the stage in that outfit, even if she had the opportunity to. You know why? Because she's like, you know what? I ain't gonna do that because if she knows that he uncomfortable with it, she ain't doing it. She ain't doing it. So to your point, Davina, you're like, okay, she's around celebrities X, Y, Z, and she makes this amount of money, and it's because she can. Just because you can do something, don't mean you should do something. Is the point to me. So she's doing that because she's like, shut your ass up. I make more money, and I'm famous, and
I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you
that
that.
don't that don't make it right. So
Right.
if he's the richer person, and she's not just not gonna do it because she's gonna be like, you know what, I ain't gonna do it, my man. If she know her man have an issue, or if she know that I need to tone it down, she's not gonna be going viral and be in any point where he have an issue with that. So that's where it come into play. Where I'm saying as a man, if you got a problem, you got to speak up. It don't necessarily make you insecure, but it's always weird. Women, if they're uncomfortable, it's no problem. They can just say whatever they want to say, and no one's going to be like, "Oh, you're so insecure." If anything, most people in society are going to cater to you and say, "You know what? You got to respect your woman. You should respect your woman. You can't just be flirting with women and then looking at other women asses and all. You got to respect your woman." And most men will listen to that and say, you know what? All right, cool. I understand. Are they going to take that conversation in? But my point is, in saying that, a woman have to do a whole lot more before she's called insecure than a man. So a woman, when she starts breaking car windows and just doing extra stuff, then people be like, yo, she's insecure.
Hell
But a man,
nah, that is crazy to the motherfucker.
That's crazy.
it's
That's
crazy too. It's crazy too. But if a man says something small, a lot of times we go right into, oh, he's insecure. But if a woman says something small, we don't call her insecure right away. Is my point. I think there's a different.
small is subjective, though. What you mean small?
So if a woman was to say, you know what, if a woman was to say, you know what, I don't really want you looking at other women, or
Nah, use this
you,
one. I
you,
don't want you gonna get no haircut and wearing gray sweatpants outside. Down right there.
Not the gray sweatpants.
Down right there. That's the one right there. That's what they say. That's what they say.
okay. If we take that one, yeah, she might be insecure on that one though. That's a little crazy. You got to
Yeah.
get a haircut,
Ain't
but
right.
gotta get a haircut. But if a woman was saying to a man like, you can't be getting up on stage at the concert and grinding up on
Janet.
whoever,
You ever
Janet,
see
or,
those shows? Yeah,
you know
you
what I
know what?
mean?
That's a good example. Man getting up on there and how Janet be putting her tutu all in their face and stuff like that. Now,
Yeah. Like, is
that
he wrong?
is he wrong?
He get up
Lady.
there and
I
stuff.
wouldn't be mad about it.
Well, let's forget old ass Janet. Let's forget old ass Janet. We go we go
Dude, can you try to put a baby up in Janet?
It's
Let's
a
get some of that
once in a
money. Get
we
some
lifetime
of that
gonna do old
Jackson money.
opportunity.
we gonna do old ass Janet. What if it's like somebody younger, like
Oh, Sierra.
Like
Beyonce did it
Tiana
already.
Taylor or
Sierra does it.
something. She
Tiana
does that.
Taylor.
Oh,
Oh,
Tiana Taylor
get
does
your
it.
ass. No, don't be up in Tiana.
Tiana Taylor.
Yeah, she
So
does
He
that
does
too.
that
She
too.
so
bad.
Come on
so
stage.
if your man goes to the show and Tiana Taylor's
I'm
clapping the
mad. Get up off that
clapping the
bitch.
butts off, are
No,
you
but I'm
insecure?
different. I can't. No, I
Okay.
wouldn't be mad.
Mm, mm.
But
Well,
I'm different. But I don't.
if
I
he
don't like
disrespecting his
you.
woman though,
Hmm?
Would he
if
be
he
disrespecting his
disrespecting
woman?
if he disrespecting his woman, if he get up on
If he
stage,
got if he got called up like she would normally call, he's up on stage and she doing all her little thingies for him,
hmm
all in her face,
So
ass around the cheek,
all over the internet.
all that right there, all over the internet. Are y'all upset?
no. Now if you go to the boom boom room back with her, like what the hell?
What?
But if
No.
y'all on stage, like
Yeah.
it's part of the show. It's a show.
Yeah.
It's a show.
Plus,
No.
you're not going to be up there getting the rub and the feeling anyway, because security's going to yank your ass off that stage. You know what I'm saying? So
What
Yeah.
if
it's
she,
a
what if she's rubbing and feeling?
I'm gonna
oh,
poke the booty cheek.
What what if
That's
Tiana's
my
what if she
man,
got
dude. Did you feel a booty cheek? What Tiana's booty feel like? Like it's juicy? Is it juicy?
Oh my
yeah,
We
he
goodness.
having a
probably
whole
does.
conversation. I'm the wrong one for this because I think it's ridiculous. Like you have to assess. You got to do a threat assessment, right? So if Tiana Taylor drags you on stage and she grind on you, you might even grab a cheek. Like you should like partake in the moment, dude. But I mean, I'm not scared because she ain't got your number. She don't know who you are. You're just tomorrow she gonna be in Denver doing the same thing with some other dude. Like
mhm.
no, I
This,
don't
this
care.
conversation is not. This conversation isn't fair. You know why? Because women are like, yo, you're broke. You don't have the money. You couldn't pull her. but if but if
That
Usher
part.
That's
but if Usher or some star wanted your woman, it's entirely possible. Because men will take a men will, obviously the male stars will take a woman who's nobody. They don't care. what she does for a living. So yeah, this is not even fair. So you're
Oh
right.
my gosh.
mm, mm.
Yeah, I
No,
can't.
because Usher got the women that are men that he's gonna flew out and do things with. And I just, you got to just assess the threat. And if you think your woman's gonna go get flued out by Usher, then she's garbage anyway. Why are you with her?
But
Right.
Usher is also very married too. And you got to think, what does his
Yes.
wife think about every night he's doing this?
Well, I think
Have you seen
she.
his wife?
Oh, well, I saw glamour
Well,
shots, so she looks cute from glamour
Who?
shots. His wife, like the picture, I saw two pictures of her.
She looked like potato salad with raisins.
Oh, damn!
oh,
That's just some bland.
well, let's
That's
be let's be honest. Let's be honest. The
You know what?
Usher,
She ain't
Usher,
got cakes like Kiki. Cakes
he
like
he never
Kiki.
he never had the best looking ones. The only one he had that was good looking was Chili.
Right, because Tamika was.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, she wasn't potato salad with raisins, but she was
I'm
something else.
drinking. I'm sipping tea,
I
y'all.
She was
ain't
looking
never,
like
I
cotton,
ain't,
like
I
she didn't
ain't
pick
never heard
cotton.
nobody call say potato salad with I got to use that. Matter of fact, I'm about to
I know.
tweet. I'm about to put that bitch on
G,
Facebook right
G,
now.
G, like I ain't saying nothing. I might be opening up for him one day, so don't say nothing. Don't you get
Sorry. Look, these are not Gina's views.
exactly? Don't you
But
let
Gina,
these
give me
people.
give me backstage, girl.
Got
Mm,
you.
mm, mm.
I'm about to put on Facebook.
I
If you look
can't.
like potato salad with
Potato
raisins,
salad with
shut
raisins.
up.
Yeah, you ain't getting back. You ain't never getting backstage with that. You done.
I
You done with
But
us.
look, I'm trying to
can't.
get on 50 Cent's roster. Who anybody know 50?
They say he cheap. You don't want to get on his roster.
Yeah, I
Yo,
did
I
hear
love
that.
50 though. I
Hmm.
gotta say, I love me some
They
50.
say he cheap. Yeah, I mean,
Like
but
fun. He just talk mad shit.
he
Like
ain't about spending no money on nobody. He got millions and millions of pound dollars, but he wouldn't give his girlfriend $10,000. Mm-mm.
that's all right. I'll get 50 y'all something.
He like go get your own job.
He like what?
I
He's
mean,
like
you
go get
remember?
your own job. Go get rich and die trying. That's what he said. He ain't going to be giving you his
Wow.
money like that.
I mean, come
I
on now, though.
mean,
I mean, y'all been together for all this time. You can't give her ten
well,
thousand
no,
dollars.
no, wait. I thought he did pay for her to go to school.
I
no,
He
don't.
paid for
he
some program or educate something.
yeah, yeah,
Something.
yeah. He put her in a position to succeed,
See? So he
but
didn't
Mm,
give her a
it
fish.
was
He
it.
showed her how to
Yeah,
fish.
Well, we talking
yeah.
about the mother of his child.
No,
No,
this was
I don't
the
know.
chick he with
I don't
what's
know
now,
who
I
she
think.
Oh, the
was.
newest
her
one.
name?
A little
Cuban Link.
girlfriend.
Yeah, Cuban
Oh
Link.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he just put her in positions like for her to like have her own. But he's
I
been like that
prefer
even
that.
with his crew.
Good.
Mm.
Yo,
He talked to
if
her
you're
good too.
around somebody like a 50 Cent and you don't do something, then you lazy. That's my thing because
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah,
if they help set you up to succeed and
sure.
put you on.
that's his
I
whole
mean,
thing. He did that with the first baby's mother. That was his whole thing. Is he tried to help her get into some type of a
Hey,
career, and
yo,
he just
and
didn't want to.
she killed it. Yo, I think she was getting like six. He was paying her like six figures. But Shorty got greedy, and the judge cut that shit down to like five stacks.
Mm, mm,
Yeah,
mm.
Yo,
I
mm,
mean, I still take that. Look, 50, I won't do any of that. Just show me the ways. Look, you can hook me up with a
Yeah,
position, a job, like
goodness.
whatever. Show me, give me a path to follow and finance it. We
oh
good.
no,
Yep.
all them celebrity
Right?
motherfuckers crazy.
I will respect you.
give me the opportunity.
mm, mm.
All them celebrity motherfuckers crazy.
So, what is
They
the
are.
moral of the story for this crucial convo?
Absolutely nothing.
Communication. Well, I think communication is the key. I think that's the moral of the story.
The
If
moral of the story is
if
Will
you sit,
Smith should not be making no records in 2025.
Oh my God.
Right,
well,
I guess that's the synopsis for the night. Will Smith shouldn't be rapping no
well,
more.
no, between you made a good point earlier that obviously if you're feeling some type of way, then you need to have a conversation about it beforehand so that you can distinguish whether it's insecurity or whether you're just feeling some other type of way. And
Yeah,
ultimately, if when it comes down to respect in relationships, it boils down to communication and just talking
Yeah.
about your feelings and talking about, okay, this is what bothers me and why. And if
Yeah.
you are not able to communicate with each other, then all you're going to have is miscommunication and misconceptions that's going to just snowball into something else.
Yeah.
And so with Kiki Palmer, ultimately, dude, you should have had a separate conversation with her in advance or even after the fact instead of going
Yes.
on social media. That
Yes.
just was not a good look.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
for sure. But I think the other side of that coin is that for women, what I would say is that women have to practice good judgment, and I think that was what Felicia Rashad was talking about. And I understand is I agree with all the points as far as the guy, but I do think that women practicing good judgment is important. Um, Anything doesn't go just because you can do it doesn't mean you have to do it, and just because a man has a problem with it doesn't mean he's insecure. Have good judgment. I think that that's the thing that a lot of our younger women they don't have. In my opinion, they don't have good judgment. They don't really know what's too far because society has told women that everything goes and nobody should have a problem with nothing as long as you get in your bag and as long as everybody's like, girl, go do your thing. It's always right. And, you know, that mentality shows up certain places. So that's why I say sometimes, you might have a guy who's insecure, but you also may have a woman who don't have good judgment. You know what I'm saying? Like if
Gotta
you
rein it
going out,
in.
huh?
They gotta rein it in a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, but again,
Yeah.
I think women have intuition. Women actually understand what may be too far. I think what happens is that some women are just like, I don't care what you think. And I think when you enter into I don't care what you think territory, then you might have a problem with a man who does care or does have an issue. Now, if you have a man who's a little bit more like I don't have a big issue, so and D as well. So we give grace so we don't trip on everything. So that means that in my opinion that maybe our wives could push the limit a little bit more than someone else because we just give more grace. You know what I'm
I
saying? But at the same
brag.
time, yeah, exactly. That's great. You ain't tripping. So she ain't gotta watch her parameters. But I think at the same time, women should self police themselves. The man shouldn't have to tell you what's unprofessional or not unprofessional, but what's a man
To
a
have
man
somebody you're compatible with. So if you're a conservative guy, then you need to, like, if you want a woman who's going to be within certain parameters, then date that woman that's in certain parameters. If you date somebody and she a hoe and she dressed like sexy red all the time, don't
Right.
expect her to
No,
like cover up
exactly.
after she had your
Right.
baby or you married her. You married half naked chick. Okay.
Right.
She's gonna be half
Right.
naked chick. So you have to be honest with who you have. Because I'm not
Who
I
you are.
I can't,
Yeah.
I sincerely cannot change who I am. I can amend some things, right? But who I am ultimately, it needs to be enough for you. And if it's not, then we're not compatible. Because if I got
that
to
Mhm.
change completely how I dress and the things I do, then I'm not being my authentic self. So now I'm
Mhm.
bending over backwards trying to please you. And that's going to be
Mhm.
problematic down the line.
That's
that's fair.
true.
Sure.
That's
Absolutely.
fair. But these are more subtle things where a Kiki Palmer or some certain everyday women they not way over the top all the time, but they may. Again, I'm saying that some don't have the judgment to say, you know what, I'm doing too much. That's what it come down to. And there is a limit of dress that you're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it come down to is that if you don't have good judgment to know, okay, I'm doing too much, then you might run into a problem because what the other thing about a man is that, and again, I know all these things seem chauvinistic, but I'm gonna say them anyway. So a man is still like
Lyoko.
a man is still like, this is my woman and you represent me. You know what I'm saying? Like you represent me and I don't own you, but again, look, a lot of the here's the thing, and it's weird because
Oh, sorry to say, I
wi-
don't own you, but I own you. No.
women have pushback, but again, that's why women respect a man because there's a certain level of a man commanding certain things that a woman respects. So if a man don't command them things, and again, I'm just talking from my perspective. These are my views. There's a certain level of what a man commands. If he don't command it, the woman don't respect him. The woman just feel like whatever. So there isn't a world where, for me, I don't care who you are. You ain't gonna be like, well, nigga, I'm gonna wear whatever I want. You ain't gonna say all that because not because I'm gonna force you, just because I'm not that type of dude. So it's something that
I'm gonna put some X-Lax in your drink. Hey, drink this before you leave.
Oh my
I ain't gotta yell. I ain't gotta raise
yo,
my voice. You want some? Hey, drink. You want to drink some wine real quick? Call up. Let me get it for you.
the X
Sit your
lax
ass down.
the X lax is gonna
God.
the X lax is gonna make that thong picture on stage a whole nother
Ew.
thing.
Oh my god. You know
Oh.
what? That's too much.
All right,
She,
D,
Uh,
you won. D won. You won.
you ain't going nowhere. Uh huh.
You're like, we ain't got to do
Mm,
all that talking. I'm gonna hit you with this X lax. Okay,
Yeah, let me
you
get you
won.
some wine real quick. Get you ready.
dirty.
mhm.
That's
Be like,
wild.
babe, my stomach hurting. Oh, we lay down real quick.
You see, like, I was having a good time on stage with Usher, but I had to run to the bathroom real quick. You be like, oh, you don't
Derail.
say.
Derail.
Mm.
She ain't gonna make it to the.
That
She
would
ain't even
spread
gonna
like
make it.
wildfire. Kiki Palmer
Yes.
had a bout of diarrhea at Usher
Oh my
concert.
god.
Oh,
That is
Oh,
a terrible, terrible headline.
oh
And
my
she would
goodness.
have
Oh,
had.
Kiki.
Think about how long it would have taken her to live that
oh
down.
my. Never.
And I can see old boy now. Ain't God good? Look at God. Look at God. Won't he do it?
Mm-mm. No,
You be
thank
texting her,
you.
you be texting her like, you good?
Yeah.
No,
You good,
that's
babe?
wrong. With
Oh
Okay,
Mm,
no.
that's a good way to simplify, bro. I like that. I like that. I don't know what to say after that. Then, though. So, that's crazy.
mm, mm, mm.